Welcome back to the part 2 of this series. In this part, we'll be talking mostly about building modeling. So, if you recall the last time we were working with conceptual masses to kind of produce the form of the building. And to an extent, this particular part, we've already completed that aspect of it. So, in this point, we'll be joining everything together to make sure we have some kind of complete form that we can work with, at least on both levels. That's the lower level and the top level. So to begin, you can go to any of the floor plans and then you see the individual mass forms. All you need to do is click on one, click on the join button, and then click on the other one. It's as simple as that. So once you've successfully joined most of these forms together, you notice that they'll all kind of merge together and then they'll look like a solid together, like you can see now. So this is just me enabling, making sure that some of those things have actually been done and it's according to the sketch which I have made initially. So combining, merging, joining all the floor plans. Then this is a 3D view just to look at it and make sure the form is actually in place of what I'd hoped to, and it's looking good at the moment. Next thing you want to do is create floors. So creating floors through massing is quite easy. So it's whatever floors you create is going to take the perimeter of the mass or the level at which you cut the mass. So in this case, I have so many levels that have been created, and I'm going to try and create a level on the lower level and the ground level. So click on the mass or the mass solid, and it should click on the option to mass floors. Once you click on mass floors, it will pop up a dialog menu that would allow you select whatever levels you want to create your mass floors on, and then all you need to do is just tick those levels and then finish. Once you click on finish, it's going to now create some kind of a plane, like you can see the purple plane in this illustration. And then the purple plane is actually what you're going to use to build upon that particular floor. So in this particular case, I have a part of the model that I had to exclude because I want it to be cantilevered a little bit above what the other level is going to be like. So that's the entrance side of this mass. So because it's on its own, I have to create that manually. But for the other aspects, I can easily just select them, mass floors, and then select the levels. And then for the other part, I would have to define the boundary independently so that I would work with it like that. But that's just because of this particular model. So going back to the solid planes for the ones that are going to be generated automatically, I can now select a particular floor or kind of slab that I want to use. So that's what I just did. And then click on select, click on the boundaries for the mass. Okay, this is just creating the initial one. And then click on the boundaries of the mass, select the levels, and then select both floors and then mass floor. So it's going to appear on it. So you can go to an elevation or a quarter section to see what it looks like. Extend the views so you can see the floor has been created, and then on the right is the particular one that I want to be independent, and so it's looking good. So next is the walls. To do this particular part, I'm going to use the master walls, and it's mostly going to take the form of whatever mass you already have there. So it's basically a peak wall type of situation. So what you do is um, select the kind of wall that you want, and then go to mass walls, and then select the wall you want, and then click on the sides of the mass that you want to be replaced with those walls, or to have those kind of walls, just like you can see. So I'm just going around the whole building, clicking on the walls. And for flat surfaces, you can go with roofs or floor slabs, because that's how Revit does recognize it. It recognizes the flat surfaces either as a slab or a roof. You can't put a wall on those levels, so just like that. And then another thing is when you adjust the walls, the form, you can easily update the walls, and to just update its properties to align with what you have. So this is me just running through the basics. After that, staircase. The staircase on the outdoor, which is just like an entrance staircase, so nothing too much. And then the railings. Also creating these railings is just very basic. Railings align it. Also, I didn't want to go with this particular railing. I wanted to switch to something with a bit of glazing, so that was why I went with updated the height, going from the properties, the edit properties, updated the height of the top rail, and just walked around that basically. Made sure it was yeah, this looks good. So at least now you have an idea of what you're going around. Keep in mind, this is just a hypothetical project. It's not really, it's just a concept design. Trying to merge so many things into one design, so that I could actually have like a presentation on this. So it's not a design that has been fully thought out, but you get the point. There's an idea behind it, and you just want to see what it will look like. So it's kind of me thinking through the design. So this is just me going through to align some of these things, to just check some of the boxes of the things that I would say, okay, let me extend this a little bit. Maybe it's not how I want it to be, or I've gotten to see that I would need more space, or I want to introduce this or that. Okay, I need this partition wall here and this and that. So that's just what this next part is about. I also created a spiral, a radial staircase, and to create some kind of transition from the ground floor, which is the first floor, all the way down, and then back up. So just something simple. So a little bit of adjustments to make sure, in a section to take a look at it and see the transition, and yeah, this works perfectly. Yeah. So next thing is to create a shaft, a floor shaft that actually cuts through. Normally people would want to cut through the floor, but I discovered using a shaft is actually better, because it cuts cleaner and it doesn't create complications. So that easily works for me. Creating a circular shaft, and yeah, it can fit in the staircase easily. So now this works very well. Yeah. So this is just me walking my way around some of the interior partition walls and doors, you know. So if you notice, most of this particular part of the video has been sped up so that you could just watch through, or slow it down to kind of enjoy it better or understand the process better. Looks good. Another thing I would also want to show is like introducing a storefront or a curtain wall. You can easily just place one within a wall and then use the cut geometry button to cut through. You know, instead of having to cut a hole within the wall and then come and place it later on. The best thing to do is place it within the wall and then cut through, and then you can adjust after that. This is one hack that I had to learn, you know, with time. Initially, I would go about it differently, but that's just one thing to note. So I thought I should highlight that. This is around the kitchen, and I'm just trying to make a duct and then a transition to the back of house. You know, where I have a vegetable garden as well, but that's all in the plan of the design. So I just can adjust the curtain wall properly. Yeah, and it's looking good. So I'm going to speed up the next part of the build of this design so that you don't have to wait through it. But if you'd like, you can also slow it down to understand what I'm doing. So I'm just basically adjusting the height because I opted to go for a higher headroom in the design. So that's what it is. So next is going to be the roof on the lower part of the building, and that's the roof that covers some of the rooms on the lower level. So I'm just going to pick the walls around before I create an offset, just basic roof creation. Some slight adjustments that I noticed along the way of some walls that were not connecting properly. So I'm just going to walk around that. Now the roof. Pick the walls around. Close the boundary. Yeah. And then uncheck all the slope. Define the slope in the direction I want it to fall and click on just one line to fall it in that direction. Determine the angle of slope. Choose the roof material I'm going to go with and then finish. So as you can see, it all looks well so far. At least you get the idea of what I want it to look like. But however, most of this is a process that continues throughout the process of designing. It could change because of other things that could come in mind. So this is just me testing out the slope direction which I wanted to fall, because that decision wasn't quite decided at that point. So aligning the top of the walls to the bottom of the roof, the sloped roof, just by clicking, and nothing too complicated. I'm looking at it in 3D at least, just to have an idea of where we started from, where we're going to, and what we have left. And it's looking good so far.
you say it's a war, who are the sides? Who's fighting who over what?
It's a war actually for nothing other than the destruction of human beings. The end result is to create funerals. As many soldiers as you can drop on the other side is considered a success. And with the dropping of bodies, the pushing out of people, you get a reputation, which is like the pinnacle, and you climb the ladder just as in any other organization or corporation or army or anything that's you climb a ladder, and that becomes your goal
To win respect.
to win respect.
So basically, at this point, if you've been following along, you just find out that some of these things is just about the process in which you decide to start, and if you have your sketches or your idea out penned out well, and there's nothing complicated to it. It's just an easy process of knowing where you're starting from and where you want to go to. As long as you've been able to learn some of these basic skills, it's just about your creativity and how you go about it. So I'll see you in the next part of this.